beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel, Moonlit Books. My name is Kristen, and today I am so excited to be reacting to the official Shadow and Bone trailer. I can't believe that we're here already. The fact that the show comes out in less than a month is truly like mind-blowing to me. I feel like we just found out that it was becoming a Netflix series, and now we're here and we have a trailer, and I'm just so excited. So my plan for this video is to watch and react to the trailer and then kind of rewatch it like 1.5 million times, and then share some of my predictions with you guys about where I see the show going and how they're going to tie everything together. I'm so hopeful that we get more insight into the crows in this trailer, because based off of the teaser trailer, I literally still have no idea how the crows are even remotely going to be involved in the Shadow and Bone plotline, so I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. And I'm going to wear some headphones so that I am not copyrighted for music, and also so I get the full experience of the trailer. Here we go. I'm so excited. Okay, we're starting in the fold. Oh my goodness. Who is this guy that is so far away? Who's the blonde lady? Oh, I'm gonna... How do they already know that she's a sun summoner? I didn't think that people knew that that existed. I have questions, but it's fine. I think that that effect is so cool when the light like comes out of her arm. I absolutely adore that. Oh no, the crows. What is going on? Who is he? Oh my god. This is absolutely wild. Okay, Alina, we see you. Her kefta already has gold in it. Interesting. Oh, I love Baghra. Squishy babies. I love Jesper so much. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Holy shit, you guys. That was absolutely insane. That was crazy. I feel like they have changed so much, even just from that 3-minute trailer. It seems like so much of like the actual base of Shadow and Bone, regardless of the addition of Six of Crows, I feel like they changed a lot. I have so many thoughts. Also, my Six of Crows babies, we got so much Kaz and Jesper in this one, and Inej definitely also made a lot of appearances, but oh wow, I'm like really excited for their storyline and to see how it ties in, especially because it seems like they're literally going to be hunting for Alina, and it is so exciting to know how their storyline is maybe going to intertwine with the rest of this. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go watch it like a bunch more times, and I'm gonna make a big old list of things that I think might be happening, and then we're just gonna chat about them. Wow, I'm so excited about this. I'm like on the verge of tears. I can't believe this is happening. I'm so excited. Okay, I'll be back. All right, you guys, after about half an hour of analyzing this trailer, I think I'm ready to share some thoughts. I typed them all up on my phone. I've got like quite the long list of things happening over here. So hopefully this doesn't take way too long. A lot of them are just me screaming into the void about thoughts about characters. But just a disclaimer, if you haven't read Shadow of Bone and or Six of Crows, there probably will be some spoilers in what I'm about to talk about, just because I am trying to figure out how this trailer relates to the books, so I will be talking about the books. So if you haven't read the books and you don't want to be spoiled, I would suggest you click away now, or if you don't care about spoilers, then keep hanging out. Okay, so here we go. We're just gonna kind of go scene by scene, like little clip by clip of what kind of stood out to me in the moment while I was rewatching this. I don't have like really anything to say for the first bit because we saw a lot of being in the fold in the original teaser trailer, but then we got to the point where there is this blonde lady and I cannot for the life of me figure out who she is. Like, I have absolutely, genuinely no idea. So if anyone knows who she is and wants to let me know, that would be great. I like Google searched this lady. I just typed in like shadow and bone blonde lady and nothing came up. So I genuinely and truly have literally no ideas for who she could be. So we love that. Hello, mysterious blonde lady. Oh, I also just want to put a disclaimer out that I'm going to pronounce probably everyone's names and the places completely wrong, so please just bear with me. I'm horrible at pronouncing things, just absolutely terrible. I'm gonna try my hardest, but we'll see how it goes. The next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that the Vulcan, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called, the monsters in the fold are like way bigger than I thought that they were going to be, because it's talked about in the book the fact that they are like these corrupted humans that have been like living in this darkness. I really assumed that they would be human-sized, but I guess it's like definitely more dramatic for them to be bigger, but they almost kind of look like dragons from afar, which like I'm not complaining about. It just, they're like huge and I was not prepared for that. Then we get to the darkling like cutting Alina open with this ring, and I'm wondering if the ring is intended to be his amplifier. I know that in the books the darkling himself is an amplifier and just him touching Alina is enough to like make her powers work. I'm wondering if this ring is being used in the series as that sort of amplifier, so it gives like a little bit of boundaries in between what the darkling can and cannot do in terms of Alina's powers. That's like kind of my initial thought on it. I also just think that when he like cuts her arm open, the way that the light like shoots straight out of her arm is so cool to me. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with that. I think that it is such a like pretty effect, and when you see it come out of the top of the tent and like Mal and there's a bunch of people outside watching, I just think that it is like such a captivating moment and it's like very attention grabbing, which I love. Next thing that I want to talk about is that we get our first words in a trailer from Kaz and I'm crying. Like, first of all, I think I already said this when I was originally watching the trailer, but the fact that the crows are so prominent in this trailer makes me so happy. Kaz and Inej, like just the two of them looking at each other and being like all dramatic as they're meant to be is so just good. It like brings so much joy to my heart. The next thing that I typed in my notes was just a little bit upset that I'm pretty sure this series might actually make me like Mal, and I am just not a huge fan of him in the books. To be fair, I am like halfway through Ruin and Rising right now, and he's starting to grow on me a little bit more in the third book, but God, in the first and second books, I absolutely hated him. I'm like a little bit hopeful actually that this will give him a kind of redemption in this series, because I feel like there's so much more that can be done with him and his character, and I don't want to not like him. He's just written in a way that makes him very dislikable. He's just like so boring and kind of selfish in the books, so I'm hopeful that in the series we will actually like maybe understand why Alina is in love with him, because to be honest I like don't get it reading the books. So there's that. Okay. Now we get to crows. I'm just gonna dive right in and we are going to talk like full force about the crows in this, because this scene is when we really find out how the crows are tied into this show and this storyline, and oh my god, I'm so excited. So first of all, just like a first little note is that I cannot get over Jesper. I'm in love with him. I would die for him. Anytime I see him, I like cry a little bit. He's just precious and perfect and I love him. The next thing that immediately caught my eye, like during this little section, is this mustached man who I genuinely don't know who he is. I cannot think of who he is off the top of my head. I can't remember if he's a character in Six of Crows. It's been like a year since I read that duology, so my knowledge on those books is a little bit blurry right now. But I'm trying to figure out who he is. I'm wondering if he's just like the mob boss guy. I don't know any of their names. But the guy that like Kaz works for, I wonder if he's just him. I don't know. Now I have like a giant list of potential people slash places that I think the Crows could be working for, because as we see at the end of this little section, they are told to bring Alina Starkov back with them. So I'm trying to figure out who they could possibly be working for, and there really are like 1.5 million possibilities, because like it is literally said right before this in the trailer, like everyone in the world will be looking for her and wanting her. So I just feel like the possibilities of people that the Crows could be working for is literally limitless. The first one that I want it to be is that Kaz and the Crows are working with Strumhound, which I don't think is going to be the case, because he doesn't make an appearance until Siege and Storm, the second book, and I have a hard time thinking that they would really pull him in to the first season of Shadow and Bone, especially when we haven't heard anything about like casting for his character or anything like that, although he is one of my absolute favorite characters and I would love for him to be in this first season. But that's like my first thought that I had, but I don't think that that is likely the answer. So my next thought is that they are just working for either country of Furdan or the Shu Han. I don't know what exactly their motivations for being there would be, but if it is in Furda, that might explain why Matthias is tied in a little bit. I'm still not sure exactly where Matthias and Nina are going to be tied into this whole Crows scenario, because we haven't seen them with Inej, Jesper, and Kaz at all, so I don't know like if they're off on their own little side shenanigans. I have genuinely like no clue with them yet, which is fine, but like I don't know. My next thought, which kind of like the first one is just a little bit of a stretch, but I'm thinking that there is a chance that they could be employed by the Darkling after Alina escapes, although I don't think that that would really give them a lot of time in the series, because that doesn't happen until like towards the middle end of the first book. So I don't think that that one makes a ton of sense in terms of the timeline, but I guess you never know. Stranger things have happened. And the last idea that I have for who they could be working for is that they're just like working for someone in Ketterdam who wants Alina because they know that she will be worth a lot of money if they have her in their possession. Again, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head from Six of Crows that it seems like they would likely be working for. So that's why I'm kind of trying to figure out who maybe in Shadow and Bone they would be working for. But I'm kind of coming up blank. I don't know exactly who that character would end up being. I'm just very excited to see like how that all comes to fruition and who they are working for, and maybe it's a character that we haven't even met yet, who's to say. So the next little thing that I want to talk about is just the fact that we have finally gotten some sort of a clip of Alina like having a personality, because up until this point I feel like she has just looked like a scared little baby in all of the clips, but in this trailer we have a little bit of dialogue between her and the Darkling where she asks if she's a prisoner, and the Darkling says all of Ravka is, and it will be until you and I enter the fold and destroy it. And she just replies with, so no pressure then. And I thought that that was so funny. It was really nice to see her have literally any amount of personality, because like I said, she has literally just looked like a scared baby up until this point. So give me the Alina who is like funny and sarcastic, because I know that she's in there. I have read the books. I know that she can be funny from time to time. After that, we are introduced to Baghra for the first time in the trailers, and I just love her so much. I'm so happy to see her here, and I am so obsessed with the way this clip shows her, because it just seems so true to how I imagined her being in the books. The way that she's like hitting Alina with her cane is just spot on. It is so perfect and I love it so much. The first time I noticed this next thing, I literally like almost burst into tears, and that is because there is this little car machine looking thing that appears to me to be the handiwork of Sturmhound, aka the love of my life, Nikolai Landstrom, and I am so excited about the prospect of him being in this series, even if it's just a glimpse, even if we just get a little nibble of Nikolai. I will be so ecstatic. He is by far like probably my favorite character in the whole series. I absolutely adore him. I think that he is so funny, and I think that he is so creative, and I love him, and I saw this machine and I truly started crying because I just am so overwhelmed by the idea that he could be in this series, like in this first season. Wow, thank you for letting me freak out. I'm ecstatic about that discovery because I did not see it the first couple of times that I watched through it because it is such a short clip and I didn't really know what it was, but I finally like came to realize that it's like some weird contraption, and I just hope that it means that Nikolai makes an appearance in this first season. Like literally maybe nothing would make me happier. Then we see this scene of the darkling in what seems to be the center of a circle of soldiers, and he just kind of like blasts his darkness out to the side, and I think that that scene is very cool, and the way that his like magic seems to work is very interesting. It looks like the darkness actually has like some sort of texture and like thickness to it, which is really interesting to me. I'm not quite sure if it actually does because it doesn't look like the soldiers really move at all, like they're not pushed by this darkness, but I really like the way that it's animated and the way that it seems to like sprawl out of him in like all directions. I just thought that that was really cool. Then we get to another like perfect scene of the Kaz and Jesper dynamic, and the way that Kaz asks him how many bullets he has and Jesper's response is not enough. I just love their dynamic so much, and I've said it like a million times already, but I am so happy that we're getting more Crow content with this trailer. And then we get more of a glimpse of Inej, which I think is really exciting because I feel like we haven't really seen a lot of Inej. She has been very in the background in a lot of these trailers. Like obviously she's still pretty prominent, but we haven't heard her speak yet, and she usually just floats around in the background as like kind of mysterious, which I guess makes sense because that's like her whole character, is to be mysterious and kind of like sneak up on people. But I'm just very excited that we're seeing more and more of her. Then we have a little bit of the darkling being dramatic, which I don't really care about, and then we get a glimpse of Zoya putting out a candle, and that is like all we get of her in this trailer, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I am just glad that she's here, that she has joined the party. And then we see the first appearance of the apparat, and I hate him because he's annoying and a baby, but like that's for a different story. I love what he's saying and the way that they tie it in with the imagery around him in this particular trailer. I'm glad that they haven't made a really big deal out of him at all in the trailers because I think that he's the type of character that will be really good to kind of have to discover during the actual show because he's just such like a creepy and interesting character. I think that it will really lend itself to him being a secret like up until the show actually comes out. Also, just this scene with the stag and Alina and the way that she literally like starts glowing when she touches the deer's nose, I think that it's so good and it's so pretty. Like the way that her light is radiating out around them makes me like cry. It's so pretty. And then after that we reach a point where there are just a bunch of very fast clips of all of these people, so I have done my best to try to figure out who each of them are. I think there's only one of them that I genuinely have like absolutely no clue, but we're just gonna go through real fast and I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on who these people are / just freak out about the fact that they're existing in this trailer. The first bit is this blonde lady, and I genuinely don't think that she is like a big character or a main character in any sort of way, mostly because I cannot think of anyone that she would be, and I don't think that she's the same blonde lady from the beginning, although I guess she could be, but they don't have the same energy, so I'm assuming that they're not the same person. but who I think that this blonde lady is and what this particular situation is, and this might be a bit of a stretch, but bear with me, is I think that this is a group of pilgrims who are following Alina, thinking that she is a saint, kind of putting on a performance about Alina destroying the fold. And the reason that I say this is because the woman in the middle is wearing a yellow sort of kefta looking thing that has like a yellow sun on it, and she is bursting up through the middle of all of these people wearing black cloaks, and to me that is very clear imagery for the dispersion of the fold with the light. And I don't know if that's true or not. I have literally no real reason to say that that's what I think it is, other than that is what the imagery conveys to me. So that's what I think that is, and I'm very curious when we actually get to the show to see if my thoughts on that are even a little bit correct. We'll see. That's just what I'm thinking right now, and I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else that it could be, and that like genuinely makes a lot of sense to my brain at least, so there's that one. The next little clip that we have, I believe, is Genya, but the reason that I'm hesitant to say that is because she is using fire, and as far as I'm aware, in the books, Genya does not have the ability to manipulate fire literally at all. Of course, there is always a very, very big chance that they are changing people's powers or adding to people's powers for the sake of the show, so I'm leaning pretty hard towards the fact that it's Genya, but again, we'll have to wait and see what they end up doing with her character in the show. But I'm like 98% sure after clicking back and forth between that section of the trailer and pictures of the actor who's playing Genya, I'm like 98% sure that it's the same person, so I'm pretty sure that's who it is. After that, there is a man in a cage, and I am trying to figure out who it is, but I genuinely don't have any idea who it is. I don't think that it's Matthias. It could be him, but I don't think it is. And I'm like struggling to try to remember if there was ever a point in either Shadow and Bone or Six of Crows where someone was like prominently in a cage. There definitely was a point, I think, in Six of Crows where someone is in a cage, but I genuinely cannot remember who it is. Was it Matthias? Was he in a prison? Did they break him out of a prison? They definitely broke someone out of a prison in Six of Crows. And it very well might have been Matthias. I don't know anymore. The only blonde boy I can think of is him. So for right now, I'm just gonna say that I cannot remember enough of Six of Crows to confirm this, but I'm pretty sure that it's Matthias and that they broke him out of a jail cell. And I love that for them and for him. Next, we get a glimpse at beautiful and lovely Nina. There's not really a lot to be taken from this still. She's just like wearing a cape and a hat, but she's here and she made it into this trailer, and I absolutely love that for her. Next, after that, we have who I'm assuming to be Inej on some silks, followed by a very quick explosion with kind of a cloaked figure in the room, and I don't really know who that can be. The only person that I really think of when I think of explosions is Waylen from Six of Crows, but up to this point I haven't heard that he's even in this series at all. Maybe he is and we just don't know that he is yet, which would be very exciting, but that is like the first glimpse of something that even seems remotely related to Waylen that we have seen, so we'll see what ends up happening. Then we have two quick little clips of Inej and Jesper, and these are little clips that we have seen before, so there's not really much to pull from there. Then we have Mal dramatically yelling Alina as he runs, followed by Alina lying on the ground, reaching into the distance for something, which, based on the placement of the clip of Mal followed immediately by this clip, I'm assuming that she is probably reaching for him in this scene. Next, we have two clips that I'm very excited about. We have some children holding hands, lying in a field, and then the two of them running through the field, and I am assuming that this is Alina and Mal in their past, and this is just like a confirmation that we are going to have some sort of flashbacks in this season talking about where they came from and where they were raised, and I'm very, very excited for that. Then we have a very short, very beautiful image of the stag. The only thing that I have to say about this is that its antlers are truly gigantic, and Alina is supposed to be able to wear them as like a collar, but they are truly probably as tall as she is, so I'm not really sure how that's gonna work or what's gonna happen there, but I guess we'll find out. And the last two clips of this trailer are two different images of Alina, and in the last one, she is wearing a gold kefta with black detailing, and I don't know why I'm so caught up on these keftas, but for some reason I feel very compelled to talk about them, so I'm going to. It's really weird to me that these keftas are making an appearance in this first season, because if you have read the books, you will know that when Alina first arrives at the little palace and she needs to have a kefta made for her, she wants to go with summoner's blue, and she only wants to wear like a plain blue kefta like all of the other summoners wear. Even when the darkling suggests that she wear black, she says no, like I only want it to be blue. And then in the second book, Siege and Storm, after we meet Nikolai, he suggests wearing a kefta that has gold in it because she is the sun summoner, and rather than have black, she should have this gold. And it was just really interesting to me to see in this trailer that two of her keftas already have gold in them and one of them has black on it, which are colors that Alina was very hesitant to ever wear, and I just want to see like what the conversations look like that brought her to be wearing these colors, because in the books she was just super adamant about only wearing blue, especially at the beginning, and I just want to see like how her character develops and changes to make her wear these colors, and I'm sure it's nothing crazy. I don't know, colors mean a lot, not only in like the Grisha world and the colors of their keftas, but also from like a cinematic standpoint. Colors have a lot to say about how the characters are connected and how everything is kind of intertwined with each other, so I'm wondering what kind of little switches and changes like these keftas and their colors might have to play about the characters and the way that the story itself unfolds. All of that being said, we have reached the end of this trailer reaction and discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed some of this commentary. I actually almost got a degree in media studies. I was like 2 classes away from graduating with that major, so a lot of this dissecting cinema and like the way that things appear and like what they could mean is really, really fun for me to do, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to do more of it in the future with the Shadow and Bone series when it comes out, but also with some other bookish movies and TV shows as well. So I hope that that's something that you guys would enjoy seeing. If you want to see more of my content in the future, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you all being here so much. And yeah, we have reached the end of another video, but I will see you again with another one soon. Bye!